Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're looking at some of the Zambian traditions and African traditions in general, and some of the similarities in comparison to other neighboring countries on the African continent and in Southern Africa in particular. So, this is one of the traditions that are actually occurs in Zambia. They call it Jimbuya in Zambia when somebody passes on, mostly the person that is influential or an elderly person. There'll be some sort of activities where the Bambus will start painting the people from the eastern province or the Ngonis with some sort of white powder. So this is a tradition, and it has been like some sort of a game. And these are some of the things that we must look at as Africans, where we have to try to inculcate and encourage some of our traditions, games as well, which are traditional games like in solo and certain other things that we used to play in the olden days. Those games are actually important. You could convert that and create a business out of it. But unfortunately, it's not encouraged, and many people overlook such kind of traditions and cultures. So those are the foods, traditional food of Zambia, owali and katapa, kalimbla, those mixtures with tomatoes, with some chili sauce. So all those kind of things. So these are things that we should look at and take it very seriously. That if we could inculcate this and try to think out of the box on how we could create this and make it become something profitable that could help our people as well as our economies. And this is the Ngoni culture at Inchwala that recently at Inchwala that took place. Encouraging children participating in this kind of activities is actually going to give a lot of courage and a lot of comfort when it comes to our cultures and how we could develop those cultures, try to transform it in a certain way that it starts to generate income to the children. So this is one aspect that the Ministry of Traditions and Culture and some organizations that are involved in inculcating this they should pay much attention on. If you look at the West and other cultures in the East, they've converted most of the traditions into something that generates income. So, for example, if we could look at in Solo, which is a game that is played in the markets in most places in Zambia, you'll find it in the market, and people are playing with stones, counting the holes, etc. It looks like some sort of like a chess game, but it's not chess. It's a traditional game in solo. So you could probably create that and make it grow and try to produce those kind of boards. And then you start selling them in the market. And besides that, you could convert the same game into an electronic kind of a game in solo, but in an electronic kind of a game. So those are just certain things that could actually help the economy of Africans in general. Even in the Zulu culture in South Africa, they have such kind of games. A lot of traditional games in the Zulu kingdom. And you could see the similarities between the tradition that is taking place in Zambia, which is in Chwala, and some of the Ngoni traditions in South Africa. Of the Zulu royal. So basically, there are a lot of similarities. If you look at the tradition, the dressing, the dances, they're more or less the same people. So actually, they're the same people, not even more or less the same people. Besides the politics of dividing and separating each other, that those are coming from left and those are coming from right, north, east, etc. But overlooking those politics, we should consider to be one because if you look at the tradition, it's very similar. So try to elevate this, create a business out of it, and then think of how you could convert probably the same activities, make them electronic, convert them into cartoons. That could be something that is worthwhile. And then look at the Lozi tradition. The Lozi tradition is obviously very similar to some of the traditions in South Africa, which is the Tswana traditions, and again the Lozi people in Namibia, and several other traditions that are similar. So that's the Kuomboka ceremony, the Kuomboka ceremony that occurs once a year, and it's on to take place on the 9th of April in 2022 in Mongo, where the king of the Lozi people migrates from Lialui, which is the swampy region in the middle of the Zambezi plain, and then he's gonna migrate and come back to the dry land, which is in Limulunga. So basically, this Komboka ceremony is a very, very beautiful ceremony. If you could take a closer look at how it looks like and how the people are dressed, all the colors are there. Actually, the rainbow colors are there: red, green, white, you name it. So basically, these are some of the things that we must value as Africans, because the first king that we looked at from the Nguni and the king of the Lozi, these are one of the greatest leaders when it comes to Zambian tribes, and there's several other greatest leaders that we haven't spoken about, but we're going to be focusing and taking a closer look at. Showcasing these traditions, mostly the ceremonies and a lot of activities that occur, because this thing has a lot of value. It's just unfortunate that we don't expose this thing as much. We always look at what the wet is going to produce, and then afterwards, that's what we're going to inculcate. And then look at that. The instrument is a musical instrument known as the marimba. Kiabulos, it's a very a lovely instrument actually. I like the sound of it. So that's a traditional instrument. A traditional instrument itself could be converted also electronically in probably in the local country in Zambia and several other countries that have this kind of instruments. So those are things that we must think about. Try to think out of the box. Look at this big boat of the king himself. I actually have never seen such kind of a big boat like that moving on waters, but I mean a big traditional boat. I'm not referring to the Western boats. So basically, just look at it and how many people are on board. So this is African made, actually made in Zambia. So those are some of the things. When I went to the Komboka ceremony for the first time, I was shocked when I saw this big canoe, because I only know the canoes that are smaller. When I saw this big boat like this, I told my mom, this is not a canoe. It's actually a huge boat. So those are just some of the things that you need to look at, that Africans are also rich. We have a very rich culture and traditions, and we have beautiful and delicious cuisines that if we paid much attention on them, we could do better and do a lot. Look at some other traditional foods like chikanda, and we used to call it like African bologna. It's so nice, made out of some herbs and made out of ground nuts, pounded, and the mixture is done and nicely mixed together. It makes a very nice taste, which is similar to that of polony. So you could utilize it and just repackage it well and then start selling it in the market. So those are certain things that you could utilize, and there are a lot of things like ichubolela from tute with groundnuts, etc. Just repackage that. So if you're watching for the first time, please consider subscribing, give us a like, and click the notification bell so that you're notified every single time we post a new video. Thank you for watching, and please see you in the next one. And keep supporting us, and we had appreciate those that have already subscribed, and those that are still thinking whether subscribing or not, please consider subscribing. We're going to keep sharing these ideas and sharing these good moments. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one. Bye.